Oh, Ken, is there are these on the whiteboard?
What?
Are these on the whiteboard?
You want a whiteboard? Here.
I should have thought of that sooner, I'm sorry. Yes, for this part we may do that. How many of you are familiar with, how many of you can read chords? If you're a guitar player or piano player, can you all read chords? Yes?
皆さんコードはもちろん楽器しっかりわかりますよね。
Can you read chords? Okay. Is that you need to be able to do? Not yet. But soon.
You want to join into the instruments or
Instruments or vocals? If you can just get it in here. I just want to get back and forth because I'm going to play it after I write.
Oh, I see. You want to write it closer?
Yeah, that's good. We're good.
You good?
Yes. I hate.
You can erase that, I'm sure.
No, I can't erase that. Okay, we're going to do a key change.
コードを変えるということを考えたいと思います。
Obviously, you need to have your first key.
まずはその最初のキーがありますけどね。それとまあ2つ目のキーですね。これ曲と曲ってことですね。
We'll start with an example. Let's say you're in the key of C. And you want to go to the key of D.
例えば1曲目が C だとして2曲目が D だとします。
You can play a chord in the middle that links the two together so that you never have to stop playing.
この C と D をつなげるために一つのコードを入れることによってですね、その曲間をストップすることなくつなげることができます。
I'll start with the easiest way to do that with just one chord.
最も一番簡単なのは一つだけコードを入れることです。
In your new key, if you think of this as D as number one,
次の曲のキー D を1番というか一つのコードで考えると
you just count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5つ数えてもらいます。すなわち D, E, F, G,
count up 5 and you get to the fifth note.
この5番目に来るキーが、A ですけれども、
And that's the chord that you.
そうすると、その D につなぐためのコードは A7 ということになります。
Monica, do you think you can play that? A C to an A to a D? Yes. So
C, A, D と
C to A to D will allow you to jump from here, and it'll sound pretty. It'll sound good to the ear.
A を挟むことによってその C から D にスムーズにキーチェンジをすることができます。
What was the second key change I had on the paper?
G.
G to E. So let's say we want to go from G to E.
G から E ですけれども、
If your E is number one,
E が
you
1番だ
just
と
count up 5. E, F, G, A, B.
また5回5つ目のキーを探しますので E, F, G, A, B と
Okay, so you get to your 5. So you do a B or a B7.
B か B7 の使いは
is your chord that links the two keys together.
G と E をつなげてくれます。
Can you demonstrate? Okay. Now that is very simple and very plain.
これがすごくシンプルで簡単で自然な感じだと思います。
Okay, so there's another easy way to just jazz it up just a little bit by adding a second chord.
もうちょっとこう複雑にするとなるともう一つコードを入れることができますけどね。
Okay. How you do that? You still need this chord here. We're adding one more chord in front.
さっきの5番目のキーはそのつなぐための2つ目のコードとして使うんですけども。
You're going to number 4.
その5番目の前に4番目の、コードを使う、すなわち G になります。
So you would have a G chord with, do you all know what that means? To play a G chord but have an A in the bass?
G スラッシュ A ということで、スラッシュの右側はベースのキーとして使ってるんですけども、
So now you're going to play a C chord, a G with an A in the bass, to an A, to a D. Can you do that? It just adds, it brightens it up and really makes it sound pretty.
これでなんかこう聞きやすくね、C、G、A、D とつなげることによって、
Can you do that again and make each chord a little bit longer? Please. So the same thing down here, you would be adding the 4.
同様に B の前に A を入れますので、スラッシュ B になりますね。
Can you do that one? G, A over B to B. So with this method, you can link any two keys together.
このやり方を使えば、どんなキーの2曲であってもつなぐことができます。
Are there any questions about how to do a key change?
この曲間をつなぐ、違うキーの曲をつなぐやり方に関して何かご質問はありますか？
If you can count to 5,
数えられれば誰でもできるはずです。
And often, even me, I will write it down just to remind myself so that I don't have to remember. But this is what I'm writing down. This little transition to help me remember.
私自身も実際曲をつなげるときには、きちんと書いてですね、それを思い出すようにしてやっています。
Matt, would you like to comment? We're going to demonstrate some all together, us doing some key changes in just a moment. Would you like to speak to, as a drummer, what you do when we do a key change?
This doesn't happen all the time, but the majority of the time, how I can help as percussion to transition is help emphasize that is just changing from, for example, from the hi-hat to the ride as they transition. As a You okay? Oh, you still with me? Okay.
Yes.
That's basically what I do is I will go from like the hi-hat to the ride to help to transition. It's not a lot, it's just a subtle thing, but it's enough to really help to bring that feel.
コードがある楽器がこういうふうにやるんですけども、その時にドラムがどういう入り方をするかというと、そんなに大げさなことをするのではなくて、例えば少し強調するためにそのハイハットをプラスからライドに移るとか、そういったやり方でそのキーチェンジをサポートしています。
We're going as a whole team now, we're going to demonstrate. Let's do the C to D with the 4 chord in there.
じゃあ、C から D に移るやり方をバンドとしてやってみたいと思います。
Before we change, okay? Let's try it. Ready? 2, 3, and 4. Let's do the next one. Number 2. And we're going to do the G to E that you have on the board right
今度
there.
は G から E への変化をやってみたいと思います。
3 and 4. Here's G. Another measure of G. We're going to change. Alright. So it really does work. You can just keep things flowing.
ちょっとね、ここだけ切り取られると聞きづらい部分はあるけども、曲と曲でやると多分すごく綺麗につながってるんだと思います。
Alright. Any questions about that? Yes.
So now how many counts?
How many counts?
As long as you're all doing the same thing. Because that was all for that last.
Usually what ends up happening is It depends on what time signature you're in. You know, if you're in 3/4 or 4/4, if there's 4 beats in a measure or 3 counts. But this will end up being,
質問はそのどれぐらいのね、
measure, you know the word measure? There would be one measure,
何回っていうか、
one bar.
小説ね。
Yeah, this would be 1 bar. Both of these would be 1 bar. And then this would be 1 bar. Equal. Yeah. Is that-
4分の4拍子なのか3分の3拍子なのかっていうそのテンポにもよりますけども、基本的には1小節元のキーでトランジッションのキーが1小節で次の小節次のキーが1小節。
So this one might be 4 counts. This would be 2, 2, and then 4. Something like that. Does that make
例えば4
sense?
拍子だったら C で4カウント、G のところで2カウント、A のところで2カウントで次のキーの D が4カウントという感じ。
That was a good question. Any other questions? The other thing that we want to talk about in this workshop. Oh, yes.
How often do you do the key up in the same song?
In the same song, we do it. We'll probably, if we had one planned for today that we didn't do. Maybe we don't do it every single song list. Probably maybe every other song list we end up doing that with. We sometimes take the same song and change keys within that same song. And sometimes we have 2 different songs. And one will be in a key and then the next one will be in a different key. And we link them.
ちょっと今質問したら同じ曲でこう途中でキーを上げたりするのはどれぐらいの頻度でやってるんですかって言ったら、そんなに頻繁ではないけれども、もちろん同じ曲の中でキーを上げるケースもあれば、曲と曲で、違ったキーでつなぐというやり方をしている時もあるということです。
A simple song like God is so good, often you can add a lot to a simple song by raising the key a few times as you sing it.
例えばその詩は素晴らしいとか、すごく簡単な曲であればそれでどんどん盛り上げていくためにその曲の中にキーを上げていくっていうやり方が有効だと思います。
Any other questions? All good questions. And I'm going to ask you to recall what we talked about early this morning, and if you weren't here, I'll review it just a little bit. We talked about how in the Bible there are 7 different Hebrew words that get translated praise.
ちょっと話をしたんですけれども、聖書の中には、ヘブル語でそのヘブライ語で7つのその賛美というような言葉があるそうです。
And the 2 that involve singing, the first one was zamar. It's a Hebrew word for praise. It's on page 2.
2枚目のキーチェンジの後に書いてありますけれども、そのヘブル語でその賛美というのは、例えばザマーという言い方をしているところもあります。
And this is what probably 95% of our song service is. They are songs that you know, that you sing more than one time, that you put on the list. That's what zamar is. Singing, you know, I've written, singing a song together. That's what it is.
ザマーの定義というのは、95% ぐらいの曲がこれに当たるらしいんですけれども、皆さんが歌ったことがあるような、みんなで歌うような曲になります。
There are a lot of scriptures, for instance, Colossians 3:16 tells the church to sing hymns and spiritual songs together.
例えば、コロサイ人への3章の16節にもそのような記載があるんですけれども、みんなで共に賛美をしましょうというようなくだりになります。
There is another word, however, that involves singing a song.
この賛美をするということでまた違うそのヘブライ語があるんですけれども、
And the word is hard to pronounce. Tehillah.
ここに書いてあるとおり、テヒラ。
Tehillah. Yeah. The emphasis is on the end. Tehillah.
最後のバーに力を入れるからテヒラ。
This is the new song, like the spontaneous, unrehearsed. We're just going to sing something we've never sung before kind of song.